Hey everybody, how we doing?
Yeah,
We're
feeling
doing
good
good.
today.
Feeling really good, really good. Yes,
Yeah.
guys. Well, welcome to another episode of
Beach
Beach Cat
Cat
Cinema
Cinema
Corner.
Corner.
That's right. Yes,
Yep.
indeed, guys. So we have just got back and watching Wolfman. You can see it.
2025.
It's 2025. You can see his popcorn as we have proof.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know we got a lot of views for the trailer.
Yeah,
So now
it was
let's
great.
yeah it was. So now let's so now we're gonna without further ado we're gonna do our review what we thought about the movie. All right. Did you want to go or you want to go?
I'll go this time. I'll
You
go
know,
this
yeah.
time.
You know I'm always going. Yeah.
I'll be line leader today.
Hand over there, line leader.
All right. Very very interesting movie. I think that Blumhouse's true direction of this movie to the core was horror, and a lot of times with werewolf movies, I always look at them as more like thriller monster movies. When you look at Underworld or um, I'd even say like Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro's 2010 Wolfman. I'm trying to think, the one with Kit Harington was
That was the Beast Within.
Beast Within.
With Kid Harington.
I
Yeah.
look at those more along the lines of thriller monster movies, but I feel like this one really geared more towards horror. And I think that we talked about it in the trailer too, about how that this movie seemed even just from the trailer to be more of a focus on the actual disease. And some of the things I thought were just amazing. The effects that we got to go along with in terms of like the sound, the visuals that we did of Blake's transformation, and the first 45 minutes of the movie were really really slow because it seemed to be
Yeah.
that their focus was also helping us as an audience understanding the relationship between all the characters and their family dynamic,
Right.
and how this lycanthropy type disease was the additive to really what tore the family apart. And we've seen things like that in maybe, American Werewolf from London, again, The Beast Within, where it's tearing relationships apart. But this one really went into just the aspects of how this disease was affecting this man, and how his instincts just became so primitive and animal-like. And again, where we saw the tattoos with his father's arm, and just again, like just the
Right.
cyclical things of what he was going through. So there was just a lot of originality to this story. It was very very dark, which I liked a lot. And yeah, I mean it was really really interesting and original.
All right. Yeah, I agree. I definitely concur to that. Way to go, Blumhouse, on a home run hit here on the Wolfman. I mean, that was a really interesting movie to watch. Like Garrett was saying about the originality, this definitely separated from all the other Wolfman movies. Like Garrett was mentioning about the 2010 Wolfman, and then some of you may have watched the 1941 version 2 of the Wolfman, that was with Lon Chaney Jr. and I love the separation that it was just a whole different storyline. But just like again, I'm not trying to piggyback on you because I mean I had really much that you pretty kind of stole a little bit what I was going to say. No, that's cool. Anyway, but yes, I mean it's just the way how the other wolf was more represented and more of a way of like say like the disease. And in comparison to like other werewolf movies that you see, like more like wolf-like, which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. But I definitely like how the hearing that Blake was going through once he started transforming,
Right.
and especially and the cool thing about it was like it was all done within the hour. It wasn't like okay, like the first day, okay, everything was cool and calm. Then the second night, all of a sudden, you start feeling start transforming, and it's just start going wild,
Yeah.
going crazy. And then the third time is then whammo, there you go.
Yeah. And
No.
he still looked like he was going through the transformations throughout the film, even
Right.
after that point we were talking about too.
Yeah. I don't think he still wasn't quite done yet with that. So, but it's a very good love story. I mean, it was very sad because of the relationship that the father and daughter had with each other.
It
But
was
also, it was
stronger than what the mother had.
right.
with
But
her.
also, it was like a bittersweet at the end because, in somewhere around the beginning of the movie, the mother Charlotte was telling Blake that like, well, I wish I could have been more like I feel like I'm failing as a mother, not being there with my child as much as I should. But then at the ending, well, now she got her chance because when Blake ended up turning to the werewolf and died and whatnot, now she steps up and taking care of her daughter, the way that she wanted attended to.
Yeah, and she
So,
fought for her man pretty hard too.
She did.
She stuck
did.
by him. She
There was
did.
many times, like, like, man, she had to the walls, like, man, I want to kill you, but I still love you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. And I mean, I thought it was awesome too when just we saw that wound on his arm was just getting worse and worse. It's like the flesh was just coming off, and when he was gnawing at his
Yeah.
limbs, and I mean, again, normally it's like, oh, how did you heal in under 24 hours? Like your wound is gone.
Right.
But no, it just kept getting worse and worse. I thought his arm was gonna fall off, and then you just see him back into a corner and just start gnawing himself, and
Yeah.
it's just like, what the is going on?
Right,
This is
yeah.
crazy.
And yeah, again, that was a unique thing too about this movie, because none of the other werewolf movies, like, it's like they get bit, and all of a sudden, like, they heal. Once again, I'm referring again to like the old Wolfman movie back in '41, that when Talbot got bit right in the chest, and then all of a sudden, like, everybody's trying to wonder what's wrong with him, and then he looks at the chest, there's like nothing there, and so the doctor's like saying, "What's wrong with you? Are you mad or something?" Like, and so, but again, like, it goes with it came through the stages, where maybe not this stage or the second, it would be the second or third stage we start seeing the changes, within and on that.
Yeah.
But
And the ending shot too, I just love. At first, I was kind of like, why are they having this just wide ending shot of the mom and daughter walking through, which were like open plains? But I think
Like
it was really to allude, okay, how many other wolf, or diseased people are out here as well?
yes, that lies another question in itself, because we were just talking when we were talking about that. It's like, well, wait a minute, when Blake was driving the rental truck, and then he picked up that other guy that was at the dare stand,
Right.
trying to give him the direction how to get to his dad's house.
Grady's house, yeah.
Then all of a sudden, all of a sudden you see this figure right in the middle of the road. So of course Blade, not like anybody, will swerve, and so he went off the road and landed into like on a tree or whatnot. So that leaves the questions like, okay, was that Blake's father, or was that another werewolf out there? Because if you notice, I mean, I know we can't do it in a freeze frame. It looked like it had absolutely no clothes on. In
Yeah.
comparison, when he was at when Blake's dad was at the house, he had pants and
And he had a
everything on.
plaid shirt, right?
He had a plaid
Yeah.
shirt and all that stuff. So, but let me reiterate. Let me go even further back. When the beginning of the movie, when Blake was young, when he uses scope, he's looking around. he sees this creature right up there in the hills, and because he's trying to find that deer. So that makes me wonder, just like you were saying, is there more than one of them out there?
I believe there is.
I
yeah.
may
And that could have
possibly
been
be.
the one that bit Grady, because remember Grady, when he was on the radio, was saying, "Hey, I saw it through my scope."
Yeah, because then they fade in or fade out. I can't remember the terminology. Because when they had Blake going up the stairs, because when he heard his dad talking about that, and
Right.
his dad turned around and saw that Blake was standing there listening to all this stuff, then he was just like, "Oh, okay." Then they go and pan to 30 years later.
Right.
So then Blake gets a letter saying that your father's deceased, but they never just tell you what he was deceased from,
Right.
because
Yeah.
they said ever since he's been missing.
Right.
So
And he said that the state of Oregon finally pronounced him dead, but like the death certificate. I mean, you can request a death certificate to not have the cause of death on it, but it would have been interesting to try to find out what it is.
or maybe what happened is that Grady knew that when he was, because him and that other guy that was on the other radio, outside of the radio, when he was trying to contact them,
Right.
say, hey, we need to get together and go take out this werewolf.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have, like I'm saying, like, was it within the years that they were attacked? Well, apparently Grady was attacked, because
Right.
he ended up being the werewolf. But through those years, was Grady writing down his last will, like I will bequeath this house to my son Blake? Because we don't know. It doesn't really give more details on that, because they pan right into 30 years from all that on. So
Right.
I mean, you can go. I mean, that's typical of movies, because you only have so much time
Right.
to really show what you want to illustrate out to the audience. You know, but everything like we detailed. I'm sure there's probably a deleted scene, probably when it comes out.
Yeah, a director's cut of that movie for like another good 20-30 minutes of it would be great.
Yeah.
I'd totally want to see that.
Yeah.
And this one's longer too. Another thing I wanted to say,
Yeah.
brought my mind,
Yeah,
is that
it
this
was-
one was another about 2-hour movie.
Well, close. It was about an hour 43 minutes. I checked on it, but it was very captivating.
Correct. It was
You know,
very captivating. It didn't seem super rushed, and then I also like the fact that again they picked actors who were not these just giant A-list actors to go and tell a different story, and
Right.
it worked out.
Right. Yeah. You had Christopher Abbott, and you have Julia Warner. She played on the Ozark.
Correct.
So she played
was like
Charlotte.
the,
yeah.
You're gonna have to kill me.
It was a great show. Great show, by the way. If any of you guys haven't seen it yet, yeah, it was a great cast. The girl that played in there, yeah, she was really good. And yeah, so ratings. Again, wasn't a bad movie. I'll have to give it probably about an 8.
Okay.
Not an 8.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I love the originality. It wasn't a remake from the other past. I mean, it stood against itself against other Wolfman movies.
Right.
And
I would do a 7.5. Again, it's a type of movie that I feel like specific genres can generally float in certain kind of rating category areas. I would have loved to maybe see Blake have gotten away. I would love to see Charlotte have let Blake gotten away, and I would have loved to hear like at the last scene where they were looking over that just wide shot of the valley that you would just hear just more wolves howling, and then it just cuts out.
that would be
Because
cool.
now it's like, okay, now she's got to figure out how to get her and her daughter through that entire alleyway with one rifle, and that's it.
Yeah.
So just again, I feel like there's a little other things that I would have loved to see just kind of dropped in there. A movie I would definitely want to sit down at home and watch, so I can just kind of pace it at my own time too.
Right. Again, guys, it was not a bad movie.
Yeah.
And for those who have watched it, what do you guys think? Please leave a comments there down below. Let us know what you think about the movie. Well, guys, I've ran out of ideas to say now. What about you?
That covers it for me, man.
All right, guys. Guys, well, thanks again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for all the new subscribers that's coming up. We appreciate you.
Yes.
And once again, leave the comments below. Hit the like button. Share. You know, this with everybody else. And we definitely most likely appreciate it, right? Until then, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. All right.
You see that.
Yeah.